Back in the day, when the movie was good, we all prayed to the altars of the gods of Hollywood. Oh yeah, but nowadays, Hollywood needs to stop. At least that's the opinion of two bros and a pop. Bros and a pop. Two bros and a pop.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Marathon. May I help you?
Yes.
How may I help you?
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Two Bros and a Pop. Today we will be discussing the Thanksgiving movie of all movies, John Hughes, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But first, we're going to start off with our Hollywood segment, and take it away, Mark.
Last week I talked about how Disney has completely, or as they are now known as the Evil Empire, is completely fucking up their profit margins with over budgets and reshoots and all that. And this week's commentary is no different. Captain America 4, starring Anthony Mackie, who did a fantastic job as Falcon. And
I agree.
Who I believe is a fine actor in his own right.
I don't fucking like Marvel movies.
Nobody asked you. Have some respect.
It's the same goddamn thing over and over.
That's
I'm
not
so sorry.
true.
Just go.
But anyway, apparently Disney has had another movie go into budgetary hell.
We're gonna get a letter from Disney. I know.
A cease and desist.
This is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
This movie,
Freedom of speech.
because of reshoots and because now it's called Captain America 4: A Brave New World.
Okay.
It was originally called Captain America 4: The New World Order.
Whoa!
Yeah, that was the original.
That's
title.
a
conflict of interest.
No, that's creepy. That's creepy.
Now,
With everything that's going on.
evidently, in this movie, the test audiences hate it. Every time they think they got it in the can, they show it to a test audience, and it just takes a fucking nosedive quicker than, David Caruso's career.
Oh, he was great in
Sorry, I
Jade.
stole that from South Park. But anyway, it's gotten to the point now, they changed the title to Captain America 4: A Brave New World. They are pushing $400 million on their budgets, and they just went in for another reshoot.
Oh my God.
And the premise of this movie is bothering me.
Wait a minute. So their budget is 400 million.
This is not including
Marketing.
Marketing.
Nope, not yet.
That's
Wow. This is
horrible.
they're gonna
And
they're
it
gonna put
gets-
like easily.
Thank you, Robin.
No, they're easily gonna put 700 million into this movie. With
Oh,
marketing,
easily. And there's
everything.
no way they're going to make it back.
Nope.
Anthony Mackie, I don't believe he should be playing Captain America, especially with who he's got to fight in this movie.
Who's he?
Is it Bucky? Does he
No.
play Bucky?
Who's that?
Red Hulk,
Who the hell is that?
Harrison Ford.
Paraplegic. Now.
Just stop.
by the-
just fucking stop.
Who, by the way, did just a fantastic job in Indiana Jones 5, The Search for More Depends.
Yeah, right. The geriatric fucking. Lord.
People better remember who you're talking to.
Listen to me very carefully. Did you see Indiana Jones
Chris
5?
told me I need Depends. Just the other week.
What was it? The
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny.
Yeah,
Making
my
me wait,
ass.
I gotta
It
go
was
piss
fucking
now. Thank you.
stupid. But anyway, they're not even in reshoot. They're going back to reshoot for this movie. The budget is going to be astronomical, and there's no way they're going to be making their money back on this movie.
Who else is going to be in this movie?
As far as I know, currently it's Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford. I'm not really certain.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like this movie's going to make its budget back. Oh no!
It's gotten to the point. Well, and to give you a little comparison, the original Captain America, the First Avenger in 2010 or 2011, whichever, their budget for the whole movie was $140 million.
My personal favorite was the Winter Soldier.
And you know what?
I like Civil War.
So did
Civil
I.
War was pretty good, but after that, all these fucking Marvel movies run together.
If I'm being serious, they could have stopped at Endgame and I would have been perfectly happy.
I thought they were gonna stop at Endgame, but they don't.
Once Tony Stark snapped his fingers,
garbage.
That should have been the end of the series.
Same fucking movie over and over again with different characters. That's it. That's all it is. The hero wins, the hero loses, but then the hero wins again. It's over. It's redundant. Stop fucking making these.
Not
movies.
only that, Hollywood has completely forgotten how to write a good villain.
Yeah,
and
they're too busy making the villain the victim
or the agenda.
Mm-hmm. Pop, would you agree that a hero in a movie is only as good as his villain?
That's true. That is true. I agree with that.
You don't have Marlon Brando without Barzini, or you don't have the Vito Corleone without Barzini.
That's true.
You don't have Cole Trickle without Russ Wheeler.
Yeah,
wow, that's a.
Speaking of that, Days of Thunder 2 is in production.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you know what? If he does what he did with Maverick 2, I'll watch it.
Who's playing it? Who's in it?
Well, Tom Cruise is the lead, Cole Trickle, and I believe
he's a pit crew.
I believe the NASCAR, all the NASCARs can float now. I believe that he'll be jumping from one to the other at 200 miles an hour.
And at some point he'll be running. At some point in this movie, Tom Cruise will be running.
Wait, what are you saying? You making...
In every single Tom Cruise
movie.
His
Mission Impossible movie?
In every single Tom Cruise movie, that man is shown running.
Yes.
He's not a good runner.
No, he actually... He can run better than me. Hollywood is still fucked. To wrap this up, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Getting into the subject at hand. John Hughes' Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Let's talk about this movie because it's definitely one of my favorites, especially for Thanksgiving. There are 3 Thanksgiving movies that I will watch.
What are they?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Dutch.
Really?
Yes.
Another John Hughes movie.
And Home for the Holidays.
The hell is that?
That's the movie with Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter, Robert Downey Jr., other people.
Holly Hunt. Oh man. Charles Durnan.
Durnan, yeah, he's the father.
Okay.
It's Robert Downey Jr. before he got
You
off.
having an acoustic problem here?
It's Robert Downey Jr. before he got off drugs.
Yeah, he was totally on drugs in that movie.
Dutch?
I like Dutch.
I like it, but Thanksgiving...
I
so what are your Thanksgiving movies?
Not Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, we'll get into that.
For obvious reasons.
All right, so the cast. Let's talk about the cast. Steve Martin, John Candy. I've only ever seen Layla Robbins in this movie.
She was in a few.
Michael McKean was
I'm surprised.
in one scene of this movie.
I'm surprised at how far up on the cast list he is, considering his screen time.
Yeah,
it's like 8 minutes.
Kevin Bacon.
Not even 8.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is 5th billing in this movie, and he was in for 10 seconds.
He doesn't even have a line.
He doesn't need
who
one.
Michael McKean is related to? Anybody?
No.
Somebody in Canada.
Thomas McKean.
Correct.
Signer of Declaration of Independence.
Stop it.
Pennsylvania's 2nd governor.
I don't have time to fact check him. I don't know if he's telling me the truth or not.
I'm doing it right now.
Folks, call in if you have an opinion. Why don't you?
But no, this movie, the cast is, like I said, Kevin Bacon. He doesn't have a line. I wonder how much he got paid just to run down the street.
I think it was
$700 some dollars.
No, it wasn't. It was $200,000.
Dylan Baker, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just be real. The 2 stars of this fucking movie are Steve Martin and John Candy. This movie is driven by those 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the rest are just, like they're co-stars. But
I don't even want to call them co-stars.
They're stand-ins.
They're cameos.
They're not stand-ins. Stand-ins are people that stand on a line and read lines that have nothing to do with
in a soup kitchen.
In the cast.
No. A stand-in is somebody who doesn't get filmed. Their whole job is to stand there while the actor's off doing something else.
Yes.
While the set gets
holding
ready.
the mark, holding the lighting. Stand-ins.
They're just used
10 Commandments. You know, a lot of stand-ins.
Those are extras.
You're talking about
Those
extras.
are extras.
They're just used for lighting.
Stand-ins get paid more than extras.
Okay.
And they literally do that. What they do is they basically have the same height, same weight and size of the of the actor, and then they go in there, they read the lines, they're not filmed, they just hold the mark. That's what they do.
God.
They're just there to
Did you say that?
to
I
fill
said
their
that.
place while they set up the lights.
Remember Seinfeld when Kramer and Mickey are doing that scene? He's
The
like,
stand-ins.
Stand-ins. He's like, how long are you gonna be waiting for Daddy? I'm not going away. You know, like when Kramer overacts.
hits the guy with the
That's a
pipe.
stand-in.
No.
He's not recorded. He's not being filmed at all.
He's not credited.
He's just holding the mark.
So-
no.
they're
Stand-ins are credited. Stand-ins are credited.
This cast has
I could give a fuck.
this cast is a who's who of future stars.
Oh yes, I'll give you that.
Dylan Baker, it's his film debut.
Fit.
He plays Gus's son, the man who picks him up, and
Emmett.
Unger.
is it Emmett?
Is it Emmett or Owen?
I think it's Owen.
Owen.
I'm Owen.
Owen. First baby come out sideways. She's screaming nothing.
Her first baby come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing.
See, even then, that movie was supporting women's rights.
That's true.
Anything a woman could do, anything a man could do, a woman could do. Get that heavy truck up in that truck.
Except push a baby out sideways.
I think.
Yeah.
I personally think that Eddie McClurg should have been further up on the cast as Marge Sweetwater.
Not really.
Why not?
He had a 5-minute.
Yeah?
I don't even think it was 5 minutes.
It doesn't matter. But she was also before this. She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
By the way, is there a more iconic use of the word fuck than when she says it?
19 times.
No. Yeah, right. It's uttered. That's why this movie was.
Yep, this movie was rated. It was originally rated PG-13,
PG-13,
but with all that tirade with the fucks, that made it rated R.
It was seriously when she says you're fucked.
May I see your rental agreement?
I threw it away.
Boy,
Oh boy, what?
you're bust.
And the fact that entire bit when she's on the phone was all improv.
Yep.
I will
Yep.
always love Marge Sweetwater.
Yep.
Larry Hankin is in this movie.
Yep.
He plays Doobie, the cab driver who
Doobie.
looks like he belongs in a fucking 70s porn. Yeah, Larry Hankin.
I thought he was on his way to a Mad Max rally in Thunderdome.
Hey, stop! They're not stopping.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah,
that
he was
was
in,
it.
he was in
Armed
that
and
movie. He was in Armed and Dangerous. He was
Home Alone.
He was in Home Alone. He was the cop with the donut. He was
was
also in
one
Seinfeld.
of
He
my
was
favorite-
fake Kramer.
I'm Kramer.
I'm Kramer.
I'm Kramer.
He played the downstairs neighbor in Friends until he died in season 2.
That's true. He did play in Friends.
He's not dead, though.
Larry Hankin, yes, he passed away.
Oh, did he pass away? No shit.
I was saving that for the in memoriam
Okay.
part of the podcast, but because there's a lot of people who are dead in this movie. But it was made in 1987, so what do you want?
No, he's still very much alive.
Larry Hankin?
Yes.
Well, his career's dead.
He's 86 years old. You go, ugly man.
My father-
Ugly man.
Oh,
Come on, let's
don't call him ugly.
He's not
man.
ugly.
He was hit with the ugly stick.
Let him-
He was an ugly man.
He's homely. It's okay.
He's ugly.
If Larry Hankin is listening, please comment.
For the
Please
love of
comment.
all that is good and holy, please comment.
Oh, my God.
We are big fans of your work, pal.
Just tell me you want to rip into my chest, rip my heart out, and shove it down my throat.
I'll even get a box of raisins.
Wasn't he also in Escape from Alcatraz?
Because I asked
Yes, he
him.
was.
Because I asked him about the
He
race.
was
He
Charlie
played
Butts.
Charlie Butts.
What's your name?
Al
Capone.
That was a great.
I've actually never seen Escape.
You
from
need to. That's fantastic.
I've seen that movie at
It's
least
Clint
5
Eastwood, but
times.
without a cowboy hat.
And Fred Ward's on it in that movie.
Good movie.
Fred Ward, Clint Eastwood, the guy who played Longshanks in Braveheart. He plays the warden.
Longshanks.
Really? Mm-hmm. King, Longshanks.
Yes.
Is that the Scottish king?
No, the English.
I think
English king. Yeah, the English king.
The surrounding cast are only minor players to the chemistry that is our main stars. By the way, quick question. Who do you side with most in the first half of the movie? Is Steve Martin being too uptight or is John Candy being fucking obnoxious?
He's been obnoxious,
I think John Candy's being obnoxious.
but only because he's lonely and he's
Yeah.
happy to have
He's nervous.
somebody to talk to.
I mean, if I'm in New York and you roll up to me and rip my fucking cab door open, I'm gonna look at you the same way he looks at him and probably hit you in the face. Not to mention that fucking lawyer scammed him out of $75.
I would have to say that to John Candy, you got to shut the fuck up.
When he pulls his sock off, you
Yeah.
know what? No.
Yeah, I would have lost it there. Like, bro, come on. And then the original movie,
I
they
think that was
have that
fantastic.
brownie
Yeah, what the
scene.
fuck happened to the brownie
They cut
scene?
it out. I don't know what they did. I don't know why they cut that out.
They had to cut out a lot because when Steve Martin first got this script, the script was like it was originally like a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.
And he asked John Hughes, so where are you planning on doing your cutting? And John Hughes went, cutting?
That's an insane script.
I'm not going to call it a comedy. I'm sorry, guys. It's
Dramedy.
It's a
It
dramedy.
can be a dramedy. It's riding the line.
Fucking movie makes you want to slit your wrist at the end.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
that's the hook.
It's sad because John Candy passed away very young. That's for me. That's why it's
43
sad.
years old.
That's why it's sad.
He was 36 when he made that movie.
It was such a. But,
He was 43 years old. His
died.
dad passed away at 35.
Yeah. See.
Wow.
And
But his children are still doing well and in Hollywood.
yeah, I think his son is going to be is actually playing him in a biopic.
And his daughter produces more than acts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're going to spotlight John Candy, come on,
John
man.
Candy's one of my favorites.
I've never heard anyone say any bad thing about that man. Not one word.
I don't think he can. I don't think.
Maybe
he
it's
can.
because he died young. Think about it.
No.
No, it's
He was
because
just-
he was a
He was a
humanitarian.
sweetheart.
He was a sweetheart of a man.
He was. In real life, he was a sweetheart.
He did.
I met him once.
He did so
You
much.
did not.
Yes, I
Shut
did.
up. You
You
did not.
meet John
I did.
Candy.
You didn't know.
did.
That was just a fat guy in a
You
suit.
probably met
Probably.
Ben Candy and he was somewhere else.
No, John Candy, man.
That guy in a suit.
He could do more than just comedy. Did anyone ever see him in JFK?
I have not seen JFK.
I probably did.
In a serious role? It's a very long movie.
He's not even funny in Home Alone. He's just a guy. He's helping her get home. you know?
100% improv.
Who?
Yeah, it was.
For who?
Yeah.
John Candy in the movie Home
was a
Alone,
big
all of
part.
his lines, 100% improv.
And he didn't get paid for it
And he
either.
did it for free.
He did it for free.
By the way, for those who care
he
about
didn't.
set...
Yes, he did.
We didn't.
Yes, he did.
He got paid $414.
No way. Now I'm gonna fact
hold
check
on,
you.
hold on.
Fact
They
check
would
me.
have had to have paid him legally, considering
'Cause
his
there's
SAG.
union.
There's no
Union.
way that they could get away
You know
without
what?
paying him
They
something.
got a point. They
I'm
gotta
gonna
pay him.
find out right now.
Find out.
Whatever the SAG minimum was at that time.
For those people who enjoy little tidbit set design facts, it's the house that Steve Martin and his family live in, same house from Home Alone.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
was.
No, it
Yes,
is
it
not.
was.
No, it is
wasn't.
not. It is
No,
not
it
the
wasn't.
same house.
It was down the street.
It is not the same house.
Oh, like
it was.
you were.
It wasn't down the street. It was
in the
a
same
It
neighborhood.
was a town over. It was a
Okay.
town over.
It was a couple miles
It's not
away,
the
yeah.
same house, but
Not
it
the same house.
looks.
Where,
like
in
the same
Shermer,
house.
Illinois?
It's not.
There
the same
is no
house.
Shermer.
However, it's the same house in Uncle Buck.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
It is.
it probably is. Macaulay Culkin still lives in that house to this day.
Probably.
Still waiting for his
It
fucking
actually
parents.
was just sold for like $5.5 million, which is surprising because of how like iconic the house is.
Well, I don't know about. I mean, maybe a little iconic. It's not like it's the Amityville house.
Well, that's
don't-
different. That's-
John Candy was paid $414 for his cameo. in
Motherfucker,
Home
Pop
Alone.
did his homework, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever,
I'm
man.
just
You
gonna
don't
rate.
do your fucking homework.
He did his homework.
Apparently I do.
This man did his fucking homework.
Did with some bitch.
But I'm just gonna say,
Very nice.
You
Very
gotta-
nice. Well played, sir.
Thank
Well
you.
played,
yeah.
sir.
When we're wrong on this show, we admit we're wrong. By the way, Shirelli, you were right. I need to see the Joker Part 2, no matter how much this movie sucks.
I'm good, thanks.
And why is that?
Because
I heard it was a musical. You told me
yes, it is.
last week or whatever.
But when my buddy Shirelli first sent me a text message saying that this was going to be released as a,
Getting off topic.
I know, but real quick, this movie was going to be made as a musical.
Yeah.
I sent him back a text message saying, well, at least it's an original idea. And in our first episode, I said I'd rather sit through a bad original idea than another.
Yes, you
fucking
did say that.
So,
You could do that yourself.
Burn.
so yeah, Shirley, you got me. Fuck you. Dallas sucks. Back on target.
Okay, all right.
Prior to this movie, I think Steve Martin got this role based solely on the fact that he could wave his arms and with suitcases in them really wildly. Like seriously, the whole
You're messing with the wrong
yeah,
guy.
seriously. Half the movie, he's just
That's true.
I mean, he is a very physical comedian. Very physical
One of the best.
comedian. Yeah.
Is this the
Yes.
first movie he plays a straight man in?
What?
No, I think it was under
He means straight comedy.
under the Yum Yum
Like-
Tree.
Oh.
No, not
remake.
gay, straight. I'm talking straight.
You got to be
gonna say-
specific
I was
for
gonna say,
some of
I
the
don't
other
think-
people.
No.
I was gonna say, I don't think Steve Martin's ever played gay.
Gay.
Yeah.
What I mean is not gay, straight. It has nothing to do with sexuality.
straight.
I'm talking about comedic straight.
A straight.
For example,
Straight man.
Abbott and Costello. Lou Costello was the funny one. Bud Abbott was the straight man.
Yeah.
Wasn't Steve
And I
Martin,
can't believe I actually have to give that disclaimer.
wasn't Steve Martin playing straight in Roxanne?
Actually, yeah.
I mean,
Come on.
it wasn't really that funny movie. The only funny part about that movie was his nose.
Steve Martin, prior to this movie, this was made in 87, so he had done Little Shop of Horrors.
Who?
Little Shop of Horrors, Steve Martin.
He was a dentist.
That's right.
Elvis.
Shut up. Open wide. Here I come. Yeah.
Prior to that, my God, man. The Jerk in 1981. He did The Jerk.
That movie.
My Blue Heaven was 1991, I believe.
Yeah, that was a 90s movie.
Again, fantastic film. Poor Steve has actually fallen off as of late.
No, he's doing a full-time television show on Hulu, which is getting amazing
Yeah,
reviews. That Once Upon a Building or Murder.
Something murder.
Only Murders in the Building with Martin Short.
Only murder.
Yeah, and it's getting a lot of good
I've
reviews
seen
on
two
it. I
episodes
have
of
not
that.
watched an episode
I
of it.
watched
Yeah, but
2 episodes of
movie-wise,
that.
think about the last good movie he was in.
What does he have to be in anymore?
You don't have to work.
Nothing.
Come on.
He doesn't have to be in anything.
Then don't do fucking horrible movies like The Pink Panther. Just say it.
Yeah, the Pink Panther was horrible. 1 and 2.
Your mother will shoot you both.
No.
No,
I love the original.
No.
the Peter Sellers was
no,
fucking
the Steve
brilliant.
Martin version of
He-
Pink
he-
Panther was pathetic.
it was
It was
pathetic.
I would
awful.
like to buy a big ass.
I was with an ex.
Don't ever do that again.
I was with an ex, and we walked out of the fucking movie theater.
Yeah, that was bad.
Because that's how bad that movie was.
I've only ever watched out of one movie.
Was it Anchorman 2?
No, it was Rain of Fire.
Yeah, that
With
movie.
Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale. Fucking terrible movie.
What was that about?
Dragons.
Okay.
No,
Matthew McConaughey
no.
dies like 10 minutes into the fucking movie.
Fucking terrible. No. Yeah, I think this may have been the first movie where Steve Martin.
When was The Three Amigos made?
1988.
Yeah, see, that was an 80s movie.
Steve Martin had a run of hits.
Roxanne was 87.
Roxanne was 87. He had a big year in 87.
He did LA Story in 1991.
I like that one.
I never saw that one.
It's good.
The Man with Two Brains.
I have not seen that movie.
All of Me with Lily Tomlin.
Great movie.
Beckenbauer.
I remember you guys.
Beckenbauer.
I remember you guys watching that movie.
It's hilarious.
It is.
You know what that movie's about?
What? All of Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he shares a brain or something.
Her spirit goes into his
speaking
body.
through
Halfway.
him. Yeah, speaking through him.
Oh, but
yeah.
only halfway through.
Yeah.
Halfway through his body. When they're playing the guitar,
Oh, yeah.
and she's got the pick,
Yeah.
the pick hand.
Oh, it's funny as
and
hell.
he's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1.
He's actually a very accomplished musician.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He can play one hell of a banjo.
Yes, he can. That was really surprising to see.
And let's not forget his iconic King Tut.
What the hell is that?
Saturday Night Live.
I'm not a big Saturday Night Live fan. I'm just
He was
not.
one of the wild and crazy guys.
I can honestly tell you that I've never seen one full episode of SNL.
Are you serious?
Yeah, growing up, we never watched it on
Because
a
it
Saturday
sucked.
night because it was awful.
It didn't suck.
The
when we were
best
growing up.
generations were the 70s, the
70s,
originals,
yep.
and the 90s.
Yeah, well,
You know what? I don't want to hear it. You laughed your ass off when Andy Kaufman stood there and did Mighty Mouse.
that was the 70s.
That was the 70s.
Yeah,
I almost peed my pants because I was stoned.
but you gotta go.
I was smoking a joint, and all of a sudden this guy comes out and he just stands there, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And he's singing, and the Mighty Mouse.
When you hear
theme,
this mighty sound.
all of a sudden he goes, "Here I come to save," and I just,
But he doesn't sing it.
No,
he
no,
he mimes it.
he mimes
He
it.
mimes it. Yes.
and I just was taking a toke, and I just coughed at least a half hour after that.
He wasn't right for
brilliant.
a good day.
I wasn't.
But no, Steve Martin.
He was born in Waco, Texas.
Like I said, his movies they just seem to get worse and worse. The 80s were his prime time. He had some good hits.
Cheaper by the Dozen wasn't a bad movie.
That was an awful movie.
and it was
It
a
wasn't.
bad
terrible.
remake.
It was.
Mom made me watch that with her, so I don't want to hear it.
It could have been worse.
I didn't like it.
His only real hit in the late 90s that we loved was a flop, Bowfinger.
Bowfinger's fantastic.
Who doesn't love? I love that fucking movie.
That
movie is.
That movie is
so
a Curtis
funny.
family classic.
That
We love
movie is so funny.
Courtney, if you're out out there listening, Pop's got one thing to say to you.
I want you to go to Starbucks.
I go to Starbucks.
Get coffee for everybody.
I get cookie,
cream and
coffee
sugar.
for everybody.
And then go to Staples
And I go to Staples.
and get pencils and get them sharp.
I get a pen and make them sharp.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. You're going to be a star.
Heavenly Father, Heavenly Father.
That movie. That movie was.
I get a little headache.
$6 and my right nut says we're not landing in Chicago.
First impressions of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Obviously, I thought it was going to be a comedy. It's John Candy sitting on a bench with Steve Martin, who looks like super straight, and it just looks like John Candy's having like super fun. And then, you know, it's like the married couple where the wife's like super happy and the husband's like, fuck this world.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I wasted my life.
oh, I wasted my life.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Martin looks like the tidy whitey conservative one, and John Candy's like just going with the flow of the world.
Do you think that was really John Candy's tidy whities he wipes his face with?
First off, they weren't tidy whities. That was a sheet. It was a sheet. They were this fucking big, man.
Can't call them tiny whiteys.
I didn't say tiny whities.
Oh, that
Take my socks out of
That's
the sink if you're
gross.
gonna brush your teeth.
That's gross, man.
I take him out. He's strangling those fucking socks.
I had no idea that beer was going to explode. You put them on a vibrating bed. What the hell did you think was going to happen?
I had no idea those beer cans were going to blow like that.
You left him on a vibrating bed. What did you think was going to happen?
But yeah, that was my impression. That Steve Martin is this like by the book,
Tight-ass.
super tight ass conservative, and John Candy's just going with the thrill of the world.
Yep.
And you know, flying at the seat of his pants,
Yep.
and just annoying the fuck out of Steve Martin. And these two playing off each other were like De Niro and Pesci in like Casino. Like they just fed off each other so well, and that is my first impression of the movie.
My first impressions, John Candy's mustache is very off-putting.
What?
Really?
What are the movies?
I like the mustache.
Yes.
And that's coming from me, and I don't have the greatest of mustaches.
We know.
No, you don't.
No, thank you, Dick. But no, I'm just saying, it looks so fucking weird on him.
I like it.
Either put a full beard and mustache on him like in Canadian Bacon, which is a great movie, or, you know, Wagons East, which is a okay
Horrible
movie.
It was a horrible
That
movie.
movie is
Just
so
say it.
bad. It's so bad.
It's the movie that killed him.
The only part that
He died on
drives
set. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, he died on set.
He died
of that
on
movie.
set.
Yeah, it was
You had a
Now,
major heart
and-
attack.
New Mexico.
Yep.
And for people listening, now that's the way to quit a job.
He orders spaghetti and meatballs for an entire crew at 3 a.m. in the morning. What the hell you think was going to
We
happen?
don't know if that's true.
No, that's true.
He had a heart attack at 3 o'clock in the
I
morning.
get that, but look at the size of him.
He weighed 300 pounds for the better part of his life.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but he was
That was
like,
his average weight.
But
he's the jolliest.
his mustache
He's
is
just so happy,
And-
so much of an angel of a man. Like I have never heard anything bad about John Candy.
He was nice when I met
Never.
him.
But in the movie,
He did not fucking meet him.
my first impressions, like I said, his mustache is off-putting.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just I don't see John Candy with a fucking mustache. How many movies do you see him in with just a mustache?
So if I shaved my mustache off, you would say this is off-putting.
Very
It has
off-putting.
nothing to do with you.
And I'd call you
It always
Seamus.
No, it doesn't.
Seamus.
No,
Yeah, don't
anyway.
do that. That's gross.
What?
The whole
Oh, I'd never do that.
don't do that.
But I just thought it was just something that bothered me about it.
He had a beard in Harry Crumb.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Or no, it wasn't.
It was a disguise he wore. I am the
He was the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't it pubic hair or something?
No, it falls down in a woman's.
Yeah.
No, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what it was made out of.
Mom loves that movie.
Oh, I love Who's Harry Crumb. But
Delirious.
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 Come on. Delirious.
Armed
is
and
so
Dangerous.
good.
Armed and Dangerous.
I mean, come on, man.
But
it's
the
classic John Candy.
But as I'm
It's-
watching this movie, I started to feel more for Steve Martin than John Candy, and I just was waiting for Steve Martin to try to punch him out because let's face it, John Candy's gonna break you in half. if
Yeah.
he wanted
Oh
to.
yeah.
He no, there
Get
was
the hell out
a scene cut. If you notice, Dell has a black eye in one of the scenes.
Does he?
Yes,
When?
because John Candy or Martin was being Martin, being Page.
Martin. Yeah.
Neil
Neil
Page.
Page.
Neil Page, and something was said, and in the scene, he clocked John Candy. And in one of the scenes in that movie, you'll see John Candy with a black eye. But they cut that scene out. but they left the black guy.
I mean, I know.
They probably cut it out because he was already being so mean to him.
Oh,
Well,
that if you punched him in the face too, it
hang
probably
on.
would have made you not really
Let's be honest.
Steve
I
that
mean,
much.
let's be honest. I mean, yeah, that speech he gives John Candy in the motel room when he just like completely and totally obliterates this man's existence.
Everybody loves me.
Yeah, I like me. My wife loves me. Tom Hanks loves me.
I could go to an insurance service. And for days I could sit there and listen to them, and they'd say, "How can you stand it?"
For days, I could sit there and listen to them go on and on with a big smile on my face. They'd say, "How can you stand it?" And I'd say, "'Cause I've been with Del Griffith. I can take anything."
I know they try to make Steve Martin out to be this uptight, stick up his
Asshole.
ass guy.
If I've had a shitty day,
Hang on though.
I don't want to lay in a pool of fucking
Not
beer
only that,
because
not
idiot
only
boy
that.
fucking put it on a vibrating bed.
There's nothing in this movie that John Candy does to Steve Martin that wouldn't. John Candy's character, Del Griffith, would make a killer out of fucking Gandhi in this movie.
I would. I'd have to clock him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He puts him through hell.
And again,
Then he steals his credit card.
was it inadvertent?
No.
Was it an accident?
Yes, because it happened at the counter.
Yes.
It was
At the
accidental.
hotel. Motel.
He inadvertently took his credit card.
Actually, I think it
because
was-
he didn't have money, so he figured he'd give it back to him. Yeah.
By the
Because
way-
their paths are going to cross again because he knew that Steve Martin was going to get
Yeah, he
fucking
was gonna-
punched
he-
at the
he-
airport.
He would have.
I've never seen a man get picked up by his testicles before. That was impressive. I don't like. They try to paint Steve Martin out as this bully. He's the bad guy. No,
He was the bad guy.
I'm sorry. No, he's not. He is trying to get home to his family.
Some of the shit that John Candy does to him is very justified in his actions.
Oh, I get it.
I
I get
mean,
it.
he puts him through hell.
The character
I'll grant you that. Del Page,
Neil
he, whatever his name is, I don't give a fuck. He has the right to fucking.
Does he go off way too harsh on John Candy? Maybe a little.
The first time.
The first time. But when he socks him in the gut, every fucking right he's got to do that.
Oh yeah. Because, now, like, when you're a kid, you don't think about rental cars and how much it's going to cost. But as a grown man...
Your perspective
as
changes.
a perspective, it really does change.
Big
like,
time.
I mean, you get a car, then you set the fucking thing on fire, you put it through straight hell.
After he almost kills you on the highway.
After he almost kills you
One
on
of
the
the
highway.
greatest scenes in theatrical history, by the way.
When he says, "You're going," he's drunk. How's he know where we're going?
Yeah, how would he know? When I don't know how
do you know where we're going?
I don't know how John Hughes got the idea to turn when he goes
John Candy into the devil.
that is one of the funniest.
That was funny.
We can laugh about it now. We're all right.
That car.
You did it to yourself.
That car stunt was fantastic.
I absolutely.
That was fantastic.
I love it. Like, they're doing the mess around. The fucking makes you want to just dance and sing and everything. He's
It's
just like,
Ray Charles.
It's Ray Charles.
did you know that him and Ray Charles were really good friends?
I didn't know that. Really?
That's why he picked that song.
It's getting hot in here. You might want to take your parka off. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Alicia's watching that scene. She goes, "Just pull the fucking car over, you moron."
He didn't see the butt go out. It was dark. He didn't see the butt go out the window.
She was talking about when he gets his
When
arms.
Oh yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, why don't you just pull over? Like,
Or scream out, Jay, you and I are driving down the road and I'm driving and my fucking arms get stuck. The first thing I'm saying is, Jay, wake up. Jay, wake the fuck up.
yeah, you broke the damn seat. You broke the damn seat.
I think what makes that scene the most funny is because the reason he doesn't wake him up is because he already knows that Steve finds him a super fuck up and he really doesn't want him to know that he's trapped.
Good point. Good point.
I finally got my SeaWorld and I can't get my shoes off.
That's just fine. Leave your shoes off. I don't care to breathe your foot odor.
It's one of the most out there lines in the movie, but I absolutely adore when he says, "You play with your balls too much."
You play with your balls a lot. Do not play with my balls.
Larry Bird doesn't do as much ball handling in one night as you do in an hour.
Are you trying to start a fight?
You know what would make me happy? Another couple of balls, another couple of fingers.
Hey, we're just telling the truth here. You fidget with your nuts a lot. And at the end of the movie, the turn that movie takes is fucking brutal. It destroys all comedy in that movie.
I don't think so.
I think it does.
I think Steve Martin shows a really redeeming quality.
He does.
He doesn't do anything wrong in that movie.
Who?
What does he have to be redeemed from?
Because he was a douchebag.
He was a tight ass douchebag at the airport, bro. He was.
You wouldn't be.
What?
You wouldn't be.
Because
I'd be pissed. I'd be out $75 fucking dollars.
You just lost $75.
Because I gave that lawyer the fucking $75.
This goof
steals your car, your
This
cab.
goof steals your cab right out from under you while you're getting robbed for $75.
Which
You lose it.
anybody in New York tries to get a cab,
I think they were
you
in
would
Chicago.
understand that scene.
Hey, you lose a foot race to Kevin Bacon.
Okay, but here's the thing. But then they get to the airport, and if I was Steve Martin and I recognized this dude the one that stole my cab, if he started talking to me, he's like super nice and offered me like a beer and and a hot dog, I would take that into consideration.
Yeah, but Steve Martin just wants to be left alone and read his fucking paper.
No, Steve
You don't
Martin is
read.
an uptight,
Hold on.
tight ass.
You don't read. So
Yes, I do fucking read.
really?
Yes, I
Books,
do.
Jerry.
No.
Books.
Well, I don't know.
You ever
Books are
hang on. You ever been sitting down
boring
somewhere?
as fuck.
You ever been sitting down somewhere and you're trying to read something, an article on your phone or a book or a magazine, and
Pop keeps on talking to you?
some asshole just won't leave you the fuck alone. They won't take the social cues. That is what Steve Martin is going through in that scene.
He's a tight asshole.
He even tells John Candy, forget
Sir,
about it.
Yes, sir. Forget about it, sir. I'm trying to read this.
He's trying to be polite.
And John Candy is not taking no for an answer.
That's what I'm saying. The villain in this movie is John Candy.
No.
Technically, yes.
No.
Technically, yes.
I would say the villain in this movie is Time.
But yeah, the movie takes such a fucking downer at the end. It's just, it rips your fucking heart out.
The movie I thought was good. It's a dramedy,
It is a dramedy.
but the hook is when he realizes he has no home.
Yeah.
He goes back and says, "Hey, come on home with me for a day."
Forever.
No, for a day.
He's staying forever. He brought his trunk.
Yeah. And how many things were in that trunk?
His whole life.
His whole life.
Nope. 2 things: his pillow and his wife's picture.
And a shit ton of shower curtain rings.
I think he had them booze in there too from the when they were like. Remember, it was like you have $17 and a hell of a nice watch. Where do they get the booze and the chips from? In the hotel room? No, they don't give you that. Not in that kind of a fucking motel.
I've got $2 and a Casio.
I'm gonna have to say goodnight. Would you like a room?
By the way, you know that it's fucking cold outside.
That's him.
But
Me and your mom went to this motel one time years ago, and we got a room. You guys were born. You had a babysitter, so we thought we'd go and knock a piece off.
you go and make another one.
Yeah. Anyway, I get to this motel. I go in and get the room key. We open the door. Oh God! I said, I can't stay here. I can't sit here. It was a dirty, whorish, fucking junkie's room.
Did it have the chalk outline of a
Might as well have.
person?
Might as well. It was a dirty, whorish junkie's room.
He walks in the fucking room. Ew! Like Ben Stiller and fucking says something about Mary.
I said to Mom, I said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, we're going. I'm getting my money's back. And you know what? They gave me my money back.
When me and the wife,
I don't want no trouble, sir.
when me and the wife were traveling, we're traveling back from when we were traveling back from California to PA, we would always stay in a highly regarded hotel. I didn't give a fuck if I had to drive another 50 fucking miles.
Okay, so-
I wasn't gonna stay in Uncle Remus's happy slappy fucking cabin.
Well, that's where I got the motel room.
Daddy would
Horrible.
drink his happy juice.
Daddy, would you clean him car, clean him car.
Anyway,
He walked in. He's like,
Ew!
ew. Like the Penn Motel in Reading.
Fucking Blue Triangle. Was that
don't
it?
mention no names.
Pop, that place has been out of business for fucking years.
Yeah, that place is done. One more person was found dead, and they shut the fucking.
Well, in
place
that case, that's the motel we went to.
down. Uncle Remus is happy slappy.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
I went in that room. I opened it up.
Thank God you didn't take a black light to it.
I went, you got to be kidding me.
That's-
I said, we're not. I said, don't sit. Don't
That's
sit down here.
terrifying.
I said, don't.
Well, the worst part.
Take your jacket off. Don't do nothing. About face.
You know what
we're
the
leaving.
worst place to run a black light in a hotel is? Think about
The
it.
bed,
No,
the bathroom.
The floor.
the remote.
Ugh.
Think about it.
I don't.
Oh, that's gross.
Well, the first thing, after you finish, or whatever, what are you going to do? You're going to turn on the TV.
Your phone.
Ew.
You know, when we put our head together,
We don't get nowhere.
yeah, we've really gotten nowhere.
So the face he makes.
These earrings, these rings are from.
Yeah, Czechoslovakia. Your fucking shower curtain rings.
This is quality Czechoslovakian ivory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
These were made for the Grand Wizard of China.
But he got the money though.
The
Hey.
Grand Wizard.
the
he
Grand
got-
Wizard
hell
of
of a
China.
salesman.
He got the money.
Right?
He got the money.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was on that fucking train and the damn thing broke down, I would be as far away from that fucking chest as far, because I'm not dragging this dude's trunk across that terrain. Because
I think you would.
no, I don't think I would.
I think you would.
Now listen, I'm just
Up the front of the.
if you.
I know you're too good. I
I
think
know
would.
you don't. I know you want.
Being that you know him.
No.
And
What do you know?
You don't know him, but you
Yeah,
know
what
it.
do you know?
He's an acquaintance. Come on.
No.
For all you know, he's got a fucking. His wife's in that trunk.
She may have been.
Wouldn't that have been a twist?
That's the twist we wanted.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That I want fucking.
Who the fuck are you? Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah.
What the
The part where he's sitting there talking to his wife, he pulls her out of the trunk and sits her in the fucking passenger seat. I wish you were here.
fuck? With a big, her mouth open wide.
Like the Joker from the fucking Batman.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? I'm just saying. I don't know if John Hughes was getting to the end of the script. It was like, I just had a fight with his wife. It's like, you know what? She's dead.
That was
That's one of
based
the-
on a true story.
That's one of the most redeeming qualities of the movie.
That his wife's dead.
No, is that John Candy, you find and discover this, even though he's annoying as hell, he's also a human being and something tragic has really happened to him.
Can we talk about John Hughes for a minute?
Sure.
This man was only alive for 59 years.
Was he dead?
In 2009, we lost him.
Well, I feel lucky.
Where'd he go?
I'm hoping heaven, but I didn't know him.
Where'd he go? What?
This man had a career. He captured teenage angst very well.
From his own life experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
That's
16
true.
Candles,
Yeah.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club,
Weird Science.
Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's
Pretty
Day
in
Off.
Pink. Did he do Pretty
He
in
did
Pink?
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. John Hughes was the guy for the Brat Pack.
I mean, there are plot holes throughout his movies that I could punch in, but
all his
punch
movies
out,
were
but-
based on a life experience.
Yeah,
And that's what made it great.
He also did Uncle Buck.
yeah, he did.
did.
He wrote The Great Outdoors.
I'm a fan of Uncle Buck.
John Hughes originally wanted Tom Hanks and John Travolta. Tom Hanks as in the Steve Martin role,
Yeah,
which
right.
I could see.
I could see that,
I
yeah.
can see that.
But John Travolta,
John Travolta, I don't...
I still sauerkraut rings. I'm a god.
I don't get it.
That was good.
Up your noses with rubber hoses.
I got a
Twice as
dance.
far with a computer bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta air my socks out on the plane. I'm a god. Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
John Hughes did Flubber. He did
Flubber.
101 Dalmatians. He did Miracle on 34th Street. All the Beethovens.
Yeah, he did.
Dennis the Menace.
Yes, he did.
Dennis the Menace.
Excellent movie.
So I mean, this guy. Wow, man. Wow. John Hughes wrote Christmas Vacation.
And Vacation.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
He did National Lampoon's Vacation.
Good
Yes,
for
he
him.
did.
Good for him.
The man is
This one
a
I could
genius.
actually I could see because the man's a national treasure in my opinion.
Who?
John Candy. If he had said no to the part of Del Griffith, it would have went to John Goodman.
Yes.
I can't see that.
Really?
I can't see that.
They wanted Rick Moranis.
Yeah, I know.
Opposite
Yeah.
John Goodman.
But I don't see it. I don't think John Goodman. He's funny when he wants to be, but
Oh, come
most
on.
of the time, I would consider him a serious actor.
Yeah, well, I could see John Candy's mustache on John Goodman before I could see it on John Candy. All right.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think so.
No.
I don't
Fucking
think
terrible.
so.
I hate that mustache.
He made that mustache, dude. He did.
He wanted Chevy Chase and Michael Keaton for the role of Neil Page. Steve Martin. I can
don't
see
think-
Chevy Chase.
I can see Chevy Chase because he could be a really pretentious cocksucker.
I can see Michael Keaton wigging out on whoever.
I could see Michael Keaton
I
saying,
can see that.
here's a little,
Have
when
a
you're telling
point.
these stories, have a point.
It's like
You want to get nuts?
It's like
Come on.
it's like going on a date with a chatty catty doll. You know, you pull the string back. I can totally see Michael Keaton doing that.
That's why they didn't.
Why is it that we, whenever we
pick
talk
him
about
on
Michael
purpose.
Keaton, you got to go into the fucking Beetlejuice voice? Hey,
Because
come on,
that's his iconic role.
come on!
They didn't pick them on purpose, though.
Hey, hermano.
Right.
If you think about it, because the movie is it is more of a dramedy.
Right.
So picking Candy and Martin was the best.
It was.
for this script.
Well, are you saying
For
Michael?
this version of the
Are
script.
you saying Michael Keaton can't do drama?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He can.
I'm saying if they
He can.
wanted it to be
One good,
full,
one good cop.
if they wanted it to be full comedy,
The paper.
they probably would have went with them.
Chevy Chase probably would have made it all about him.
He's your quintessential prick.
He's
Yeah.
a narcissist.
They are big time.
There was a movie. It was made in 2010 with Chevy Chase. I looked that up today. It's called Hotel Hell, and it's got him and Ellen Griswold. It's the Griswolds go to this hotel.
Really?
John Hughes wrote it.
We're gonna have to watch that.
When
2010.
he died in 2009.
Who did?
Yeah,
John
but
Hughes.
he could have written this before it was
Yeah.
filmed.
Maybe.
Because you know, writers, they go right from one script to the next, man. That's how they make
Put
their
him in the
dough.
closet. Put him in the closet.
Actually, no, not these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the
What do you figure the temperature is? 1.
So, back on topic, things that we didn't like about the movie.
I've already touched on it. The ending of this movie, it just feels so fucking out of place. I know he tried to, with that whole subway scene. Steve
So you'd
Martin-
rather him, when he says, "I wish you were here," grab his dead wife out of the trunk and put her in the seat next to him. That's what you'd rather see.
That's what they had director's cuts for.
Go ahead.
I'm just.
Or when he says, I don't have a home. Marie's been dead for 8 years. Oh, well, you know, sucks to be you. And he
Yeah.
jumps back on the plane.
I'm
jumps
saying-
back on the train and goes
I'm
home.
saying we didn't need any of that.
Why
we
not?
didn't need.
It
John-
told the ending story. It
They
told the
got
ending
home.
story.
They hug. They go their separate ways. Credits.
It gave Steve Martin a very redeeming quality.
It did. That it did. I'll
I'll
give you
say
that.
it again. He didn't have to be redeemed. He didn't do anything wrong.
He was a prick.
Put yourself in his position.
I would have been a prick.
There you go.
If a rental agency would have let me back there, I would have been pissed and everything, but I don't think I would have cussed and gone on a tirade like he did.
18,
at
19
the-
times.
They didn't just leave him sit. He had to walk.
I know, over a fucking runway to a fucking car that wasn't fucking there. I get it.
And I really didn't care to fucking walk down a fucking highway and across a fucking runway to get back here to have you smile at my fucking face. I want a fucking car right fucking now.
I know.
Was it actually said that John Candy got his car?
He did. He rented that car. That was his car.
That was supposed to be his car.
Yes.
He rented it with his
credit
diner
card. Yes.
Okay. Well, again,
Because the car was already rented, so since he had his card,
He was able to get
he
it.
was able to get
Yep.
his car.
I'm just saying we didn't need the whole dead wife. And yeah, it's cute the way they try to tie it all together in the last 15 minutes. It reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones the way that fucking show ended.
Let's not talk about it. I don't want to cut you short, but I'm gonna. They had to put that in. They had to tell Candy's story upright and out. The whole movie was innuendoing about him not having nothing.
No, he hadn't been home in years.
Exactly.
He's carrying this
They had
fucking
to-
trunk around, which may or may not contain his dead wife.
That had a pillow.
Allegedly, we don't know that for
because he's
sure.
allergic.
Hyperallergic
He's
allergenic
to a foam.
pillow.
He had the pillow and his wife's 8x10 in that pub in that
Why the fuck was it so heavy?
I think he was carrying booze too.
And bones.
and bones.
Why didn't it have fucking wheels on it? Is where I'm at, man.
Well,
Like,
and I think that was the same trunk him and Lone Star are carrying through the desert in Spaceballs.
wouldn't that be a hell of a thing?
But no, I like the movie. It's okay.
I enjoyed the movie.
I really-
It's just that ending, just like it make. Like I said, it's just like this is fucking hilarious. And oh, she's dead.
Well, we knew that.
No, we didn't.
Come on,
We didn't know that she was dead.
we knew it.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
The only time we knew that she was like for sure dead was when he was talking to her when he was freezing his ass off in that half a car.
Yeah. I knew it.
That was it.
I knew it.
Of course you did.
I did.
Of course you knew it.
But
yes.
After I seen it the first time.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. She could have.
Rum-pum-pum.
They could have been divorced. She could have they could be separated. But
Okay,
no.
I agree with you. When it comes to things I didn't like about the movie, I thought that it was a little too. It was forced drama on the audience because
I don't think
the
so.
movie's hilarious throughout, and then they just throw this drama at you at the end of it and expect you to after the credits cut
That's the hook.
Hang on, no, it's like watching Home Alone, and at the end you realize the wet bandits actually slaughtered Kevin and left him in the fucking basement to drown.
They should have.
Yeah, so I mean, it's in my opinion, it was,
And it was a great-
because it didn't need to be there.
But the reviews.
I think the reason that they put it in there in the end was they
tell
were
the story.
they were trying to give a reason for why Candy was such an annoying, clingy guy.
Because he killed his wife.
No, because he didn't.
No,
He didn't
because
have
his wife
anybody.
died.
He was lonely. He was a lonely guy.
And rightfully so. If he acted like that, no one's gonna want to fucking be around it. Give me my fucking shower
Like I
curtain
said
rings and
earlier.
go the fuck away.
Like I said earlier, he was trying too hard.
But
Fair
that's
enough.
the point. The only person who could put up with him technically
wife.
was his wife, and he didn't have her anymore, and nobody else wanted.
Oh, he
to
had
with
her.
him.
Because
Oh
he
my
didn't,
God.
Mark.
because she told him he was the biggest pain in the butt that ever come down
Yeah.
the pike. Did you know that his wife was originally put in the movie, but
Was
they
she?
cut her out?
Yes, she was. Marie.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Marie was an actual person,
Yeah.
and they
cut her
just
out.
cut her out completely.
They cut a lot out of that movie.
Yeah,
They
cut,
had
they
to,
cut
like-
the brownie
like I
scene
said.
out and the fucking. I love that.
Pop, this script came in at over 3.5 hours to 3.5 to 4 hours.
600,000
That's
feet.
a lot.
No,
600,000
feet.
600,000 feet of film.
I don't think that's possible. 600,000.
I think it may have been.
I don't think it's 600,000.
It's not going to be 600 because that's not enough to make a movie. Most
It ain't gonna be no 600,000.
Actually, it's one of those. I think if it's not 600, then it's definitely 600,000.
let me tell you, I've shot on 35 millimeter. There's not a lot there. It's maybe a couple minutes and that's it. And
the
it's
winner
only
is?
for a few. It's only for a
Maybe
few.
that's why movies back then were so good. They knew they had to get it in a certain amount of takes.
Well, yeah.
Unless you're fucking Stanley Kubrick.
Who's that?
Really? Clockwork Orange.
The Shining, Full Metal
Shining.
Jacket, Apocalypse
2001:
Now.
A Space Odyssey.
The director. He's infamous for his 100 and some takes to get one fucking shot. Poor Shelley Duvall. He put her through hell in The Shining to the point where her eyes never went back in her head right.
Budget for the movie was $15 million.
And it
made 49.
Brought in over 49 and a half.
That was a hit.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, take a note, Disney.
You're not even amusing accidentally.
How embarrassing.
Final thoughts on the movie. It's definitely a classic.
Oh,
You know,
that-
I will watch this movie every Thanksgiving to get into the holiday spirit. I love this movie. I do. Great movie to watch over and over again. The movie's a great holiday classic.
It's a great buddy comedy up until the end. Like I said, all that humor is just at the very end when Steve Martin's on that fucking subway. It's all just coming back to him. Would you get when he's badgering fucking Steve Martin? What's your address? I want to send you the money.
I would never
Fuck no, because he's an asshole.
give him my address.
No. So what does he do at the end of the movie? He's not
Takes
gonna,
him home.
He's not going to give him his address. He's going to move
Takes
him
him home.
into the basement
There's no.
with his wife.
I don't go that far into the movie.
Yeah, really.
At the
You're-
end of it,
you're-
it's over. It's
exactly.
just, I don't think about what they're
He
doing.
came
the
for
next day.
Thanksgiving. He left.
He didn't leave.
We don't know that.
No, he didn't leave.
Probably
nope,
not.
Nope, nope. It's like if you wrote at the end of The Great Outdoors, the bear eats them all.
You could make that funny.
You can make that funny.
Cocaine Bear.
Or, I could go on and on. Like Ferris Bueller gets hit by a fucking truck. Or, and I've heard this thing online, the whole movie is in Cameron's head.
Yep.
I've heard that.
I've heard
theory
that
online.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he did have issues.
Nobody watched The Breakfast Club and thought, you know what, all this is happening in Ali Sheedy's head.
Would it fly today, this movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it would.
Yeah,
It would fly
I think it
today,
would.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Yes.
there's no problem here.
Only I'd love to see
Not
Will
at all.
Smith and Chris Rock.
Who would you replace?
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Get
Put
out.
them in it.
Get out.
Will Smith and
Stop with
Kevin
the Will
Hart.
Smith. He's not that good of an actor.
No, I know, but think about it. Will Smith and Chris Rock, I think that'd be funny.
but no. But
That movie would die at the box office.
I think it would go over.
Yes, it
it
would.
would.
If Disney produced
It
it.
would still go over big because there was no detrimental
No, there's no agenda.
aftertones or whatever you
Yeah,
want to call
undertones,
it.
undertones.
There's no.
No, it was just a movie to be a movie. So we all agree that
No, it would definitely fly.
it would fly today. It would.
Who would you cast? Seriously, John Candy. Who do you cast?
Today,
Jack Black.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I could see that.
yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah,
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Will Sasso.
Will Sasso. I love that Canadian bastard.
He is so great. He oh my God.
I do not know his. I can't remember his name offhand. The dad from Young Sheldon.
I actually
Care
hated
for
that show.
I never cared for it either.
I couldn't stand
You didn't like it either, huh?
It's just a pretentious little bastard.
Well,
Well, yeah,
yeah, and that's why I can't stand the show because I was
basically, you need a fat guy who's really good with physical comedy.
Will Sasso,
Will Sasso.
Jack Black.
Will Sasso. Will Sasso might be getting a little too old for it.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
No, but maybe a Steve Martin.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, I could see him
Will
with
Sasso
Jack
and
Black.
Ryan Reynolds or Jack
I could
Black.
see him with Jack Black.
It couldn't
I can see
be.
that.
Will Sasso's getting up there in age.
So is Jack Black.
That's fucking true. You're
Yeah,
right.
Jack Black played Santa Claus this year, and he looks awful.
Who do you get to direct it?
The Coen Brothers.
There
I'd
you
watch
go.
it.
I'd watch it.
I'd see it.
They- I don't know if they would do something like that. It doesn't really seem like it's not their
We're
kind of
talking
thing.
hypothetical.
Their-
we're
yeah, but their kind of comedy is high comedy. It's not really like this. This is good comedy, but it's not the same thing.
It's not as dark comedy as they're used to.
It's not. It's not
It's
like.
not Steve Buscemi and a wood chipper.
It's
Okay.
not the Big Lebowski.
Okay, the
Let's just
Farley
say that.
brothers.
Farley
Are they
Brothers.
still making movies?
Is it Farley or Fairley?
Fairly. I think it's
Fairly.
Fairly.
I think it's Farley.
No,
Farley.
No, it's
Oh,
Fairly.
Oh, let me get Kevin Farley to play John Candy.
I think it's no. Paul Feig.
Really?
Coffee?
Yeah, yeah.
Who?
I mean,
Paul Feig.
Is that like
oh no, he's not fat anymore.
I said direct.
No, Mike from Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell.
Yeah, he's
not fat anymore.
He's lost.
for all you overweight people out there?
He's not fat
People,
anymore.
I'm fat.
We are not shaming
I'm
heavy
fat.
stuff.
No
My
fat.
son Mark is pushing 400 pounds.
No,
and
he's
we
not.
love him to death.
Oh, that's me.
Well, he looks it.
No, he's not.
I had 2 fucking rodeo burgers and I'm pushing 400 pounds. Fuck you and your hat.
Regular intervals on the planet.
So the scale of lame for this movie, it's a keeper, and I know I've said that 3 times now.
What's the scale again?
1 is never watch again. 2 is God, this is awful.
course you're reading all
3
day,
is it
Brian.
over yet? 4, why was this made? 5, on the fence. 6, if I'm bored, I'll watch again. 7, I really liked it. 8, won't forget this one. 9, definite rewatch. And 10, it's a keeper.
I'll give it a 5.
You're on the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. I love this movie. So
I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I love both the
enjoyed
actors.
it,
I
but-
do. I love both
Look.
the actors, and they fed off each other really good.
Yeah.
But it's like
John Candy and Steve Martin are fucking amazing actors in their own right.
Yes.
They are good in this movie together. Their chemistry is great. It's not their fault John Hughes had a fight with his wife and decided to kill her subconsciously in his script.
I wish you were here with me.
Let it go.
No, I'm sorry. It's
Both
so,
of you, let it go.
It's so fucking out. You're telling me that if John Carpenter sat down and did a rewrite of this movie,
John Carpenter?
yeah,
I'd watch it.
but Carissa's idea, she's in the trunk the whole fucking time.
I'd watch it.
End it.
I'll give it a 10.
You give it a 10? There it is.
Really?
Okay, so
I-
2 10s and 2 5s.
I give it a 10
that makes 3
because
times.
Hold on.
That makes 3
I
10s.
give it a 10 because
Your husband does?
no, because
Yeah.
No, we don't do
it's
that.
about
Of
it's
course you
about
don't.
finding the humanity in everyone.
Okay. I dig that.
That's the ending. That's what it's about.
It's the truth.
It is true.
It is the truth. He finds a redeeming quality in Steve Martin at the end of the movie.
He doesn't need to
What
be
I
redeemed.
can't-
Anyway.
that's not the point. He technically doesn't have to be redeemed, but he thinks to himself,
I can't let this
There's
guy
rid-
sit at the
there's-
fucking train station alone.
Steve Martin.
Don't do that again. Every fucking time I take a hit of coffee, make me laugh.
Look. The redeeming part.
well, it showed Martin had a soul,
That's
had a heart.
That's not it. That's not
Okay,
it.
what are you getting at, Chris?
the redeeming part comes from Candy. We realize that he's not really that bad of a guy.
He's not that bad. Like I said, he was just trying too hard
It's not
to
about
like.
Steve. It's not about Steve Martin finding his redemption. It's about him. It's about him redeeming.
Yeah.
Candy.
John Candy brings out the humanity
he
in Steve Martin.
redeems Candy.
You said you were going home. What are you doing here?
I don't have a home. Marie's been dead for 8 years.
Dudley Moore, Bill Murray, and Robin Williams were all considered for the role of Del Griffith. John Candy.
Robin Williams as a homeless person. You would have made
Dudley Moore alive?
Having a fruit pie.
Yeah, Dudley Moore.
That year.
Dudley Moore died in like 2000.
Oh, did he?
Brain cancer. Yeah.
God bless him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was a good actor. He was
a damn good actor.
He was a hell of a pianist.
I'm sure he was.
He was a what?
He was a pianist.
Oh.
It's ball.
No, I didn't say penis.
One more.
Penis.
One more time.
Penis. No, he was a classical pianist.
Was he really?
Yes.
You know what? I'll sit down and watch both of the Arthur movies and laugh.
Oh,
my
yeah.
fucking
I've
ass
actually
off.
never seen
Oh
those
man,
movies.
they're so. He's taking the knife out of the cheese.
You know what my favorite movie?
You want some cheese?
You know what my favorite movie with Dudley Moore is? The Santa Claus movie
Oh, with
John
Lithgow.
John Lithgow, yeah,
That's a good movie. That's a damn
for
good
Christmas,
movie.
yeah. Definitely.
1985, the Santa Claus movie.
So the tagline for this movie was Steve Martin had no reason to panic until the John Candy came along.
Amen. He's the villain.
He's not the villain.
If this movie had a villain, who
He's
would you name?
definitely the obstacle in the movie. I would call him an obstacle. I would not call him a villain.
He was a very,
Lonely man.
very
Do you think
lonely
Steve-
man. I'm gonna stick in my gut.
This is a classic man versus time scenario.
He was just lonely. He wanted a friend. He was so happy that he could glob onto this guy,
Which he did.
and he did.
And he robbed him.
He didn't rob him. That was inadvertent. He already had the car. He had the card. He used it.
You can't rent
and
a
he gave
car.
it back to
He
him.
dug in his
He
wallet
put
for
it-
pizza.
He put it back in his wallet.
By the way,
that burned in the car. By the way,
Steve Martin's reaction when he says it's one of my. I think it might be my favorite Steve Martin line in this movie.
What?
When he looks at John Candy and he says, "You stole it," and then he turns around, "He stole it." That's one of the funniest.
He stole it.
You stole it! He stole it!
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was going to send it back to you with whatever the rental car charge was, plus interest.
He's so adamant, like you should. You know, you're gonna kill me, punching me in the gut when I wasn't ready.
That's how Houdini died.
That's how Houdini died. Rick Moranis was considered for the role. Was considered for the role of Neil Page.
That's true.
Steve Martin. I don't know if I could see that.
I could see that because he played a straight-laced guy in My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin.
You know what?
That's
You know what? You're absolutely
and
right.
he played it there. You know, I've got a family I worried about too, Dickie. But you don't hear me call me Dickie.
I hate that name. I really hate that name.
If you call me Dickie one more time,
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
That right there is a movie we'll be doing in the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Because it does combine two of our family's loves, comedy and mobsters.
Amen.
Did you guys know this is a John Candy fact more so than a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles fact? But John Candy was originally supposed to be Lewis in the Ghostbusters.
Yes, he was.
Candy decided it wasn't right for him, so he suggested Rick Moranis.
Yeah, but he tried to.
Wait a minute. Wasn't John Belushi supposed to be in
No,
Ghostbusters?
no.
Are you sure about that?
If he wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to be.
Because I watched the documentary. I watched the documentary where
You're probably right.
I watched a documentary where Dan Aykroyd was going to take the script to Ghostbusters to John Belushi, but he had sadly passed away beforehand.
Well, then who was he?
Well, then
he had to have been.
Because he had no reference.
But he wrote the script for John Belushi to be in that movie.
Well, him and Ivan Reitman.
Well,
Yeah.
No, what I meant was Dan Aykroyd put John Belushi in
So
that movie.
who was he
They were best
supposed to play?
friends.
Venkman?
I honestly,
He couldn't have played Egon. I
think it was-
Imagine John Belushi
Venkman.
playing fucking Egon.
I'm saying
Venkman I could see. But Bill Murray
I think he was supposed to play the Blob.
Slimer?
Slimer.
You know what, Hank? You know what? Belushi would have nailed it. If John Belushi was the Slimer, he would have fucking nailed it. Mark my words.
So more interesting facts. 600,000 feet of film.
Yeah, he's right.
Like I said,
I didn't think it was possible.
It's not gonna be
I didn't either.
600.
Sorry,
He's right.
I wasn't sure.
John Hughes did certainly shoot 600,000 feet, proving once again that Pop is right, and we hate fucking admitting that on this show.
No, I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I thought he was wrong, and he's not. So
I thought you said that there was a scene that they did that was
the scene at the end where he talks about his wife being dead for 8 years. That was not the end of the scene. Steve Martin actually had an interview where this movie is highly regarded as the #1 Thanksgiving movie. It really is.
It is.
And
Not The Wizard of Oz.
No, I listened to a thing where Steve Martin was actually asked, and he said one of the most redeeming qualities about this movie was during that scene at the end when he talks about his wife being dead for 8 years. The end of it is the end of that scene is basically where John Candy looks at Steve Martin and says, "I really don't have anybody, and that's why I felt so close to you." Because I don't have anybody. Why they cut it out?
Why did they cut
no
that?
idea, bro.
let me explain.
Why they cut it out, I have no idea. But here's the thing: when a movie is too long for theaters, it has to be cut.
Tell
Yeah,
that to
but-
Scorsese.
No.
Scorsese.
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you
spit it out,
why they
Mark.
cut it. I can tell you why they cut it. Because they already had shown you what had happened to him. They didn't need to turn around and have him tell it to you again
Yep.
through exposition.
But they really didn't show
This
it.
isn't a Christopher Nolan movie.
When he's sitting there on the train, he realizes it. We see it. We know.
Yep.
So when we get
Because he
to
starts
the train
playing all
station-
those memories
get-
back in his head.
Exactly. So when you get to the train
what Dell
station,
said and what the situation.
I hadn't been home in years. It all comes.
Yeah,
to fruition.
it also feels like a fucking shoehorn.
No, it all
but
comes.
that's why they took it out because usually,
can't let it go, Bob.
No, I don't.
Yeah, let it
usually
go.
in film the rule is show, don't tell. That's why they cut it.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that doesn't apply to Christopher Nolan films.
but I gotta
No,
let
it
it go.
doesn't. He's the oddball.
Let it
out.
go.
Christopher Nolan is a hell of a director.
He's a putz.
That movie could have ended with just Steve Martin. Remember when Steve Martin says, "I think as much of a bad time as I've had on this trip, I think one day I'm going to look back and laugh."
Yeah.
That movie could have ended with Steve Martin riding away on the subway and just laughing, and the credits roll.
Possibly.
But then you got people
gotta
like
wonder.
me and you and your brother and Chris here
You gotta wonder.
saying to
like,
ourselves,
what
the hell happened to
what
Dell?
was the
He went home to Marie.
Marie's dead.
We don't know that until they start playing that thing in the subway.
Yeah, we do.
Don't
We know.
No, we don't.
When he's talking to his wife, when he's freezing in that car, you know she's dead.
No, we don't.
I wish you were here with me. Are you kidding me?
We don't know that. She's at home.
The undertone.
Who's washing his
no,
tights?
no one talks to their wife like that.
No.
If she's gone, no one does that.
'Cause he had
How do
his-
you know?
Why didn't he pick up the phone and call his wife?
Did you notice his
Why
chin
didn't
quivering?
Why didn't he pick up the phone and call his wife?
hang
Because
on.
she passed
Hang
on.
His fucking chin is quivering because it's snowing in Wichita.
No,
Possibly.
no.
It
He's freezing.
wasn't quivering before he said that about his wife.
Yeah.
No.
When he has a
You gotta let it
conversation
go.
with her in the car, she passed away. That's when I knew that she died. That's when I knew that she passed
Steve
away.
Martin's laughing. Credits. Great comedy.
You are wrong.
None of this fucking.
There'd be too many questions then.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
you're wrong.
We'd be the people that ask them questions. And you would be too.
Yeah.
What happened to John Kennedy? He went home.
To
No.
who?
To whoever the
What,
fuck.
to
I
the
haven't been home in years.
York Rescue Mission?
Or he's going to his next shower curtain ring convention. I don't
No.
fucking know. Just don't.
No.
Don't have me laugh
When
for an
he's-
hour and a half, and then the last 10 minutes you're gonna tear my fucking heart out.
When he's having a conversation with his wife in the car, she's passed on.
Yes.
That's your key.
I don't
She's
care.
dead.
I ain't no freaking monument to justice. No.
No.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
It's over.
No.
She's dead. That's when you find
Yeah,
out.
he
she
killed her.
passed
She's
on.
in the trunk.
No. Okay.
That would have been fucking perfect.
All right then. So thank you guys for joining us for this week of Two Bros and a Pop. Next week we start the Christmas segment for the Christmas holiday season, and we're going to start with the wonderfully funny movie Jingle All the Way.
Wonderfully funny.
Fuck off. I got pills to take.
I've never seen a guy get picked up by his testicles before. Lucky thing for you, that cop passed by when he did. Otherwise, you'd be lifting up your schnuts to tie your shoes.